Internet security experts are calling on people to lie online to stop crime syndicates stealing their personal and financial data. But they say the rate of criminal harvesting of information is so widespread that just about everyone's personal and financial details have already been stolen. Margot O'Neill reports.
Welcome to CamDecoy.com, the most advanced fake webcam system available today.
Here's an example of innovative software that's been used by online romance fraudsters.
Your target will never see the words Cam Decoy, but rather will be directed to a site that looks like a social networking webcam site.
By manipulating different clips of pre-recorded footage, criminals in any part of the world can pretend to be, say, well-heeled Americans who trick you into handing over credit card details, cash or other personal information.
So, for example, if you want to show just her laughing hard, you simply play forward to the part you like and hit inject. You will notice that we have a pending message box. This allows you to see what your target is typing even before they hit submit. This gives you a heads up on what command, if any, to play next.
It's no longer available for download, but two Australian women recently approached police after losing more than $100,000. But the rest of us shouldn't feel smug. Two of Australia's leading security experts say we've all had our personal and financial details breached by cyber criminals.
All of us should go to bed tonight knowing that most of our data, most of our personal data, most of our financial credentials have actually been stolen.
I have no doubt at all. I think this is organised crime and it is very much a business. They've industrialised online criminology to the extent that in terms of parallel to combat it, the efforts to combat it, law enforcement is unlikely to achieve for some time.
Online criminals may not have used your personal details yet. Their problem is they now have too much information.
For the criminals, it's been a bit like drinking from a fire hose with the amount of data they're getting. They surprise themselves in how successful they have been and continue to be in ripping data both from us as individuals, corporates that are exposed, and indeed sometimes governments themselves.
Could you potentially pick up a security breach as it's going on?
Yes, that's exactly what they do, and they do that all the time. So
here at security company Symantec's Operations Centre in North Sydney, live hacks are blocked every day. Globally, the company is seeing a phenomenal surge in attacks.
Last year, we blocked 5.5 billion attacks globally. Now, that's an 80% growth on what it was the previous year before.
This is explained partly by the rise of readily available hacking software. You don't need to be a computer geek anymore. You can simply download your own hacking tools. There's even black market online technical support.
In fact, that market is quite so advanced that when you actually buy those tools, that the people who create it for you can actually provide you support services for it as well.
Criminal syndicates are racing to find ways to exploit the tsunami of stolen information. Special software trawls social media to find out when you're away on holidays, or they research our online habits and lie in wait for their prey.
Cyber criminals are actually figuring out, okay, this is the group of people I would like to hack. Right? And then through social engineering and understanding, they're saying, okay, these are the type of websites they may visit the most. So they'll actually, instead of hacking the individual, they'll actually hack the websites, put malicious code into the back end of these public websites and wait for the people to come to them.
Security experts say it's time to say no when online companies ask for personal information, or start lying when it's legal to do so.
Just because a website asks you for some information doesn't mean you have to be honest. We've discovered that it's okay to be anonymous on the internet. Well, that means that you don't have to give your real date of birth, your real address, your real name, as long as you're not attempting to commit fraud. And I think people should take that opportunity to use a pseudonym on the internet.
Even senior police agree.
It's actually giving yourself a title or assuming a name, an alias for the purpose of conducting yourself with a fairer degree of safety.
While financial institutions and governments have high levels of security, most of us wouldn't have a clue about how secure our information is with many online companies. And they're not required to tell us when their data is hacked.
A breach recently where in excess of 500,000 identities and taken. There a couple of weeks ago, a major company, it was reported 500,000. When Sony was breached, allegedly there was about 700,000, I think, Australians tied up that may have details were exposed or potentially exposed. Then you have Lush Cosmetics, when they were exposed, it was 70,000 Australian and New Zealand identities. And they're just the ones we know about. These events are occurring constantly.
It's high time in a modern economy that companies that we give information to are required to tell us when they lose that data. And in Australia at the moment, they're not.
The internet is a good place. It can be a very healthy place, a very productive place and a positive place. But there is a dark side, and we are not sufficiently prepared for that dark side.
Margot O'Neill, Lateline.